Jack Hermansson versus Joe Pyfer.
Hey, shout out Blunderbub for joining us as well. He says, I can't believe I watched this just so I could participate. I hope you're happy. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for
But I am
joining us.
happy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So check it out, man. Pyfer, everybody's, well, not, I shouldn't say everybody, right? But the UFC has really been promoting Pyfer and help me understand something well. Because I feel like I missed something, right? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get an understanding on, because I watched the promo leading up. And they cut that promo before, and when a fight ends early and UFC's trying to take up 30 minutes before the next fight starts, they're cutting more promos. And there was a promo where they're like, Joe Pyfer's career almost ended. Like, there was a point where Joe Pyfer thought that he wasn't going to be able to continue fighting, and then it cuts to Joe Pyfer, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like
it's
the
been
toughest
tough
time in my life." And then I was like, dude, what happened? Did this guy you get cancer? Like, what's going on? He broke his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And so was it like so severe that they're like, dude, I don't think we're going to be able to put it back together?
I guess, dude. And they got it, he came from like a pretty crazy upbringing and stuff, and not a lot of chances or opportunities to succeed, so he's overcome all that, which is cool and stuff. But
Okay.
but
See, I didn't. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but the real reason that the UFC's behind him is that he shows up. What did he do he did on the Contender Series? Yeah, he got a knockout on the Contender Series. Broke his arm. Well, first, Dustin Stoltzfus slammed him, hurt his arm. Bam, came back on the Contender Series, got a knockout, and they're like, "Sick, you're back in." But the real reason is because he's like, "Why are all these fighters complaining about fighter pay? This is the biggest opportunity of your life. You got to make the most of it." Dana's like, "That guy,
that's
he's
my
guy
boy
right there." Yeah, and they're like, "Everybody needs to be like Joe Pyfer. Be Joe Pyfer." That was like the saying or the phrase or whatever, and it was just like, And then now he's got this huge chip on his shoulder because Dana bought him a house and like all this stuff, and like,
Dana bought my house.
I think so. Someone bought him a house. I think it was Dana, and like,
allegedly.
And he's just got like a massive chip on his shoulder, and then he allegedly broke Francis Ngannou's record for power on that punching machine that you can find at like a carnival, and like hit it with the hammer, and then you're like, oh wow. It really means nothing, but he broke the record, and they're like, nobody really cared because why would you? And he's all like, he did an interview, and he's like, why don't people believe me? I hit hard as fuck. And it's like, no, it's not that nobody believes you that you broke the record on the thing. It's just nobody cares about that record because clearly you don't hit harder than Francis Ngannou.
Like you, no way. Like Joey, 16-year-old from high school that works there, probably didn't calibrate that shit correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or it's a fucking machine that you just punch, and it's like, yep, you hit harder than this person, or like this is a score for your punch. Like it's stupid. It's like a novelty machine, thing.
Who was it? I think Joe Rogan showed that he has one in his not in his studio, but he has like a gym in his studio.
Compound. Yeah.
Where like it's like legit connected to like some type of machine that measures like pounds per square inch when you like kick it or punch or something like that. Like that might be a little bit more accurate than the.
I still don't buy it. I don't think there's an exact science, because like you could hit it on like a weird angle that like it just doesn't matter. None of it's like a real life application. Like it just doesn't matter, until you tell me what kind of vehicle he hits as hard as. What was it? A Ford Escort or something like that was Francisco, like he hits as hard as a Pinto or something. I don't remember what it was. He just says, I hold the record for hardest punch in my local trampoline park. Hey, there you go, dude. It's mostly 8-year-olds in him. Yeah, be like Joe Pyfer, be like Regen. Start breaking records on these punching machines.
That is it. That comment already won the day. I was so happy after that comment. But hey, let's get to the fight, man. So look, Pyfer comes out the first round and looks like a world beater, man. He is catching Hermansson at the end of his shots too, snapping his shots back, man. And for a second there, I was like, man, I don't think Hermansson's going to have an answer for this, because he kept on getting hit pretty dang hard, man.
Yeah. Did you think that, wow, Hermansson could take punches from Francis Ngannou if he's taking these punches?
I thought he could get hit by a Pinto, and the Pinto would be more damage than Hermansson.
It was a Ford Escort, right?
I think it was that's what it was. It was a Ford Escort. It was going 60 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah, but Joe Pyfer, he walks him down the whole first round, and he is putting it on him. Nice left hook to the body. a nice little short left hook, sometimes a real long left hook, which is kind of part of the issue here. But that long right hand, every once in a while, it looks like someone's got magnets on it, and it's just they throw it from way back there, and it just covers so much ground and still lands. And yeah, Hermansson was pretty much pure defense that whole first round, right?
Yeah, and
Circle on the outside.
it's that long reach, but he also did a good job of throwing punches where Hermansson was going to be. Like Hermansson was doing this thing where he was really bobbing deep left and
Yeah,
right, and Pyfer was a little patient and he'd wait for like he'd feint, and Hermansson, dude, he was really reacting to those feints because he bobbed deep, and then like
yeah.
as soon as he's coming back up from bobbing, he'd hit him with like this little shovel hook, and I was like, damn man, like Pyfer actually his striking looked pretty damn crisp that first
Yeah, it
round.
did in the first round. And then in the second round, it looked pretty good for the first half of the round. And then eventually Hermansson was like, all right, cool. Time to start working. I truly think that Hermansson was kind of just taking a breather that first round, knowing, hey, this guy, we haven't really seen him get extended too much. I know cardio is my weapon. That so I can kind of weaponize my cardio. Just kind of take that round off, make him think that he's going to run through me. There's going to be no resistance type thing, and then I'll start shifting and it was perfect, right? That's where that like experience comes into play. You always talk about like, when there's like that real experienced guy versus the young up and comer that everybody's hyped on. Do you go for experience, or is there also some old age there? There's some battle worn, or do you go for the fresh guy? Like it's tough to kind of you never really know because you can have so much experience, but your chin isn't there anymore. There's
Yeah,
like a,
yeah,
a,
yeah,
a
yeah.
threshold, right?
And
If that
we
makes sense.
saw that a couple times in this fight,
Hmm.
but not with Hermansson.
Not with Hermansson, and he kind of showed like, hey, there's levels to this outside of just fighting ability. There's also like game planning, executing that game plan, knowing, hey, this is a 5-round fight. I could take this first round off, start putting my game plan together in the second half of the second round, and from there, that momentum shift can be really hard to shift back again if you're Joe Pyfer, and he just couldn't. From the second half of the second round, it was just Hermansson working off that jab, that the double jab, the calf kick. It was fucking beautiful. It looked like super like out there, huh? Jabs and low
Yeah,
kicks.
well,
He won the fight with jabs and low kicks.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No, it
not
was
saying the
good, man.
technique looked as good, but
I was gonna say, yeah, yeah, but dude, you could see him just wear on Pyfer little
yeah.
by little,
There
and
was a nice
at
snap jab
the
where the cracked him in the eye. He was like,
so good, man.
eye poke. And
So
you're like, I
good.
don't know.
And the nonstop pressure after that, after the second round. And
Yeah.
it was just a dominant performance. It's so funny because they're talking about like, hey, well, right now Pyfer is favored, like minus 800, minus 1200 or whatever, coming out of that second round. And then
Yeah.
going into the fifth round, they're like, Hermansson's a favorite by minus 200. Like, what a
Yeah.
swing, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he just absolutely turned it on. And I think a great learning experience for Pyfer, right? Like he showed yesterday that he has some skill, man. He's a really
Yeah.
good fighter.
Hmm.
He's got a lot of power behind his shots, big learning experience, and he's gonna be able to see like, dude, you cannot bully your way through to the title. You're
No.
gonna run into people in the top 10, like a Hermansson, that might not have all the skill in the world, but he has that crafty veteran ability to
Yeah.
find a way.
Yep. And like you go through the regional scene, you see a lot of these regional MMA fights where a guy can just go out and blitz and blitz and blitz, and someone will just crumble at that level. Like you said, you can't really storm your way through that top 10 unless you're very special. Like it takes a special person to do that. I mean, you saw it with
Yeah.
Hamzat. Hamzat, once he fought Gilbert Burns, it was like, hey, they're not just gonna wilt to that crazy aggression like you're used to. That starts to
Hmm.
disappear, and you got to have a plan B when that doesn't work. You can't just be that, because it looked like once that didn't work, Pyfer was kind of just like, oh,
What do I do?
I'll just keep throwing this right hand and this left hook. But at that point, he was trying to force it so much that the left hook was now looping. He was getting off
Yep.
balance. The calf kick debilitated him to the point where he couldn't use his feet to land his shots anymore. Um, in the post fight interview, he was like, "So yeah, Hermansson wins it, round 3, 4, and 5 on all judges' scorecards." Um, and then they interview Pyfer at the end, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna make excuses, but he was landing the calf kick better, so my leg wasn't very." And it's like, "Yeah, dude, that's part of the fight, dude. That's not an
Yeah,
excuse. That was just you being beat, man. That's a
exactly.
tough
That was
pill to
part of his
swallow, but
strategy.
yeah." Hey, man, I probably could have won if my leg was held up to those kicks better. It's like, no,
Hey,
dude,
it
don't
worked.
get kicked.
Worked for O'Malley. You got the
Yeah,
crap kicked out of his leg, and he's like, "Nah, man, it was just a
still
fluke.
undefeated.
I'm still undefeated."
Yeah. But very cool to
Oh
see
man.
Hermansson get a win here because in the past,
Yeah.
Hermansson has really struggled with guys who hit hard, and Piper hits hard as fuck, harder than Francis Ngannou, I'm told. And he still stayed in there, Good footwork, rolled with the shots really well.
Yeah.
Piper just became a little too predictable, I think, with the shots he was throwing too. It was really just left hook to the body, right straight to the body, right straight up top, or left hook up top. And it was pretty much just that. He kind of started throwing the jab later on in the
Yeah.
fight. Um, yeah,
And props to Hermansson though, because Hermansson, you going into this, it's a 5-round fight, man. This is
yeah,
a long fight.
and he's
Because
been there. He's done that.
yeah, and if this was a 3-round fight, if it wasn't a main event, it's a
He
lot
lost.
closer, dude. He probably
He
would have
lost.
lost. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, he would have fought
Yeah.
differently, right? I don't think he would have taken the first round off like that if
Maybe
he
would have taken
knew.
more risks in that first round, but also with
Mhm.
the way that Pyfer was landing and the power he was landing with,
Yeah.
who knows? Who
Who
knows,
knows?
right?
But
I mean, it's all
and
hypothetical.
another thing too is the coaches, the Piper's corner, pretty much all their advice after the first round, they kind of had some good advice. They're like, "Yeah, we need to do this, see this." After that, it was pretty much just don't let him get comfortable. You're letting him reset, and when he resets, then he can pop off that jab and the kick. Stop letting him do that. You need to like force him to be uncomfortable, and it's like that's kind of just feeding into that blitz, 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 wilt this guy with that crazy pressure that you have success with on the regional scene. And it's like, hey, no, 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 that didn't work. It's not you're not letting him reset. Hermansson's just resetting because he's good. His
Yeah.
footwork is good and his jab is stopping you in your tracks. It allows him to reset. You can't just make him uncomfortable. That can't be the only advice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because that's what failed already. Trying to do that
Yeah.
failed at that point. You can't rounds 3, 4, and 5. That cannot be the advice anymore. But it was.
But again, a good fight from Hermansson.
Mhm.
Masterful game plan. Props to him and his team. And again, just
Yeah,
a learning experience for Pyfer, right?
yeah, yeah. How do you feel about Joe
Awesome.
Pyfer's nickname? On a less serious note,
What is it again?
body bags with a Z. Joe Body Bags Pyfer.
Body bags Pyfer. I don't know, man.
Not my favorite.
Body
Blunderbuff says my
bags.
biggest takeaway from the night or from last night is UFC should pay its viewers if they're gonna make them listen to Cruz and Cormier all night. Oh my
Oh
god. Me and Ramiro got that
man.
out of our system, so we're not just complainies on this stream because we always complain about the commentary, and it was
Yeah, and
exceptionally bad last
I
night.
don't want to just spew negativity the entire time, Like I've
Yeah,
actually had listeners before that tell me like, "Yo, man, like you guys just dog on the commentators too much and the refs too much," and it's like, "All right, we'll chill off that, But I'm glad
it
you
was
brought
bad.
it up, Blunderbubb, because we weren't gonna.
Yeah, and Josh says perfect showcase that there's levels, 100%. Like this is
Oh
the
yeah, well
epitome of
said,
there's levels to this stuff, and he says got to lose that nickname.
for sure, for sure. All right, man. We ready to move on?
Um, yeah, I guess that was Piper trying to get into the rankings. He gets stopped from
He'll be
that.
in the top
I,
15 soon.
I liked Hermansson's call out of Imavov. I don't know if he
Yeah,
gets it. I think Imavov probably moves up instead of facing down, but that'd be a fun fight.
that'd be a very fun
I mean,
fight.
it'd be as fun as you can get in middleweight. Middleweight's
Yeah,
not the
it'd
best
be
right
a
now.
fun. It would not like don't give it to me as a main event.
No,
How about
no,
that?
no.
Hey everybody, Ramiro and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.